Hey there, BIOS 115 students. How are you all doing today? It is your instructor, Karen Klein, and as before, we are together here to accomplish a lab. And today's lab is enzymes and how enzymes work and how a specific enzyme works under 3 different pH environments. Now, of course, print out this worksheet and follow along with the video and fill it out where it is indicated to do so, and then that's what you submit to the upload to the submission link, and that's how you get your lab points for this particular lab. And as you know, you should have read up on enzymes before starting the lab, because I'm not going to go through this in great detail because you would have already read it. So as you are aware, enzymes are proteins, or those particular biological catalysts. They're molecules, and what they do is they promote biochemical reactions. They allow them to occur, or allow them to occur at all, or occur more quickly, or occur at all. And they work under specific environmental conditions because there are hundreds of thousands, I don't know, maybe millions of enzymes, and they're all specific to that reaction that they allow to occur in living organisms. And so therefore, they are very specific to that particular environment. For instance, you might have an enzyme that really only works at a specific temperature, let's just say 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And if that temperature gets too low, that enzyme may not work. Or if the temperature gets too high, that enzyme may not work. Now for this lab, what you are going to investigate is the effectiveness of an enzyme to break down hydrogen peroxide in 3 different pH environments. Now, if you go to page 2, the bottom of page 2 of your lab, you see that chemical reaction that is listed. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2, and you see that it's 2 molecules of hydrogen peroxide plus the catalase, that's your enzyme, breaks down hydrogen peroxide into 2 water molecules, H2O, plus an oxygen molecule it's oxygen gas, and heat. And through experimentation, we're going to determine at which pH this works the best at. Sorry, grammar police, about the dangling participle. And what you're going to be directly measuring to determine the rate of the enzyme being effective in breaking hydrogen peroxide down is you're going to be measuring the amount of oxygen gas that's produced. So we'll go ahead and we will get started. So if you go to page 3 of your handout, you see that you are to write your hypothesis in step 1. You can see it's highlighted. So go ahead and hypothesize which pH regimen do you think that this enzyme will be most optimal. pH 2, pH 6, or pH 10. As you recall from your pH days, your pH scale, that pH scale is from 1 to 14, and anything below 7 is acidic, anything above 7 is basic, and so you know that a pH of 2 is really, really acidic. That's a very strong acid, like battery acid. A pH of 6 is slightly acidic because it's right below 7. 7 is considered neutral. And then you have a pH of 10, which that's a pretty respectably strong base, kind of like right in the middle there as far as its basicity. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Now you see at the bottom of your worksheet, the bottom of page 3, you see table 1. So this is where you're going to be recording your gas volumes. So we'll go ahead and we'll get our equipment. First, we have a test tube, and it wants us to add the pH environment in which we're studying. We're going to do this one at a time. And then the peroxide. And then when we're all ready, we're all set up, we'll add that enzyme, and then we're going to add a gas syringe, because the gas syringe, when the chemical reaction is taking place, as we mentioned before, that oxygen is released. And so this gas syringe will fill up with the oxygen that's being released, if any oxygen is released at all. Now we know if there isn't any oxygen released, that the enzyme isn't really working that well. And we know when there's a ton of oxygen released that the enzyme is working very, very well. Okay, so that's our gas syringe. Let's go ahead and get our reagents out. There's our hydrogen peroxide. It wants us to put 5 mLs of hydrogen peroxide. There it is. And our pH 2 buffer. So that's our environmental condition. Now, nothing's really happening at this time because we haven't added the enzyme yet. But boy, once that enzyme is added, we need to get that gas syringe on there really, really quickly because that reaction might start happening very quickly, and we don't want to not measure the amount of oxygen gas that's produced. Okay, here's our catalase. That's our enzyme. We're going to try to do this really quickly. So we're going to add this. It wants us to add 1 ml. Go ahead. And then we're going to put it on there real fast. Okay. The timer is down here. We're going to wait for 15 seconds, so 6:55. I saw a few bubbles, so something's happening. Hover over this. Come on. And 0. The current volume is 0. Oh dear. Okay, so at pH 2, you want to put in table 1 that we did not have any gas produced. All right. And what does that tell you? What did we say? All right, so here's our test tube. Hey, come on. State. Thank you. All right. Let's add our, kind of do this in order. There's our peroxide. I'm going to add 5 mLs of peroxide. Now we're going to test the environment that we're changing. The independent variable is the pH, right? The dependent variable is the amount of oxygen. Oh, shoot, I put in too much. Yep. I'm not paying attention. Sorry, let's try that again. Let's get out a new test tube. That was my fault. Here's our peroxide. Our pH is 6, not the amount that we put in. Come on, Karen, wake up. Here's our pH. Let's not do that again. All right. And let's get our catalase. And we're going to add 1 ml, and then we're going to quick. Whoa, there we go. Okay. 15-second is 8:23. Oh, I see the plunger going up. I see bubbles being formed. We're going to wait a little bit. Okay, 7.6. It's going up pretty fast, but that's where we stopped at 7.6. So you're going to want to put that in your table for the pH 6. So 7.6. Okay. Now we're going to test the regimen of pH 10. So let's put the buffer in. Get our peroxide. All right, and are we ready? And we're ready, and get in there. Okay. So 9:13. Hover over it so I'm ready to pounce to get our reading. Come on. Oh, 14. Okay, so that's what you want to put in your table for pH 10. So you have those numbers. Oops, there we go. Come on, get back down, you. Okay, so given that information, those numbers that we just read out, and go ahead and answer that question under the table. So make sure you have your hypothesis, your table filled out, and answer the question underneath. And that is what you're going to submit to the submission link, upload it to the submission link for your points for this particular lab. All right, we're done. Take care, everyone. Bye.